Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. Imagine walking into your office on the morning of, like, the biggest pitch of your entire year.
Oh, that sounds stressful already.
Right. Your team has been prepping for months, you're at the elevator about to head up, and you get a text. Your CEO and your COO are both out, gone, no warning.
Why?
Suddenly you have to shuffle the entire hierarchy, promote the new kid, and somehow still deliver a flawless presentation.
Well, I mean, most people would go into absolute survival mode there. You just play defensively and try not to embarrass the firm.
Exactly. But today we're unpacking a scenario where a team faced that exact level of 11th hour chaos and just turned it into a masterclass of adaptability.
Yeah, it's Springboks.
Right, their emphatic 45-21 victory over England in Johannesburg. Our mission today is to figure out how a squad manages catastrophic late changes and to look at this crazy new tactical innovation with the high ball.
It's actively reshaping modern rugby, for sure.
And real quick, before we jump into the tactics, make sure to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. We've got a lot of great stuff coming.
Definitely do that. So to really appreciate what happened on the pitch, we have to look at the sheer scale of the experience that just vanished from the South African camp, like 72 hours before kickoff.
Yeah, Tuesday sets the stage right. Eben Etzebeth, 141 caps, suffers a head knock in training.
Which rules him out completely.
And then Friday, literally hours before the match, Captain Kolisi gets a hamstring strain. That is 244 caps of experience just gone.
Just wiped out. And when you lose Etzebeth, you aren't just losing a big guy in the tight five. You're losing your primary defensive lineout caller.
Right.
He's the one reading the opposition's jumps.
Yeah.
And with Kolisi, you lose that crucial link between forwards and the back line, not to mention, his influence over the referee.
So they had to do this massive reshuffle. They bring in Cameron Hanekom from the bench for his second cap. Paul de Villiers gets his uncapped debut. And they shift Pieter-Steph du Toit to lock and just hand him the captaincy.
Which is a huge cognitive burden to drop on a player like that.
I mean, the stats show the average age of the starting lineup plummeted from 31 to 27 overnight.
4 years of average age in test match rugby is massive. You're swapping seasoned pattern recognition for just raw processing speed.
Which is why the mental side of this is so fascinating to me. Coach Rassie Erasmus didn't panic. He actually called the injuries destiny.
Yeah, I love that reframing. He basically said, we knew we had to stress test our depth for the next World Cup anyway, so instead of trickling the young guys in during an easy game.
He treats it as a mandated audit of their system.
Exactly. He signals to the rookies that they aren't just emergency stopgaps. They're the chosen guys for a high-value mission.
But, a confident mindset doesn't automatically stop an English forward pack.
No, it does.
So how did it actually look when the whistle blew? Because they didn't ease into this game.
Not at all. They were incredibly violent from the start. They compressed the English defense and raced to a 17-0 lead in just 12 minutes.
17-0 in 12 minutes. That's a blistering pace.
Right, the rookies were just hitting the gain line, operating at this crazy intensity. There was no settling in, period.
And Erasmus said after the match that winning with this specific young group proves their whole depth system works.
Yeah, because if they had lost, it would have been so easy to just blame the late injuries.
Oh boy.
But winning validates the entire architecture. It proves these young athletes are fluent in the tactical language before they even get their first cap.
Speaking of tactics, let me just pause here to remind everyone again to please subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. Your support means everything to us. So I want to talk about England for a second because they had late chaos too. They lost George Furbank and had to put Marcus Smith at the back. Why did South Africa thrive in the chaos while England kind of stumbled with just one change?
Well, the sources point to the difference between a systemic architecture and a playmaking one.
Okay, unpack that a bit.
So South Africa's system is modular. When Hanekom steps in for Kolisi, they don't ask him to be Kolisi. They just ask him to hit the required ruck-clearing metrics and hold his defensive spacing. The system insulates the player.
It's plug and play. The individual just conforms to the matrix.
Right. But England's attack relies heavily on whoever is wearing the jersey. Furbank brings a specific type of distribution. When you swap him for Marcus Smith, who, operates flatter to the line.
The whole geometry of their attack has to change in real time.
Exactly. And that causes hesitation. South Africa's rigid structure meant their rookies didn't have to overthink. They just executed.
Which brings us to Damian Willemse, player of the match in his 50th test. The stats here are wild.
Oh, they really are.
Normally, a box kick is just, trading possession for territory. But Erasmus said they are now treating the aerial battle as a set phase.
Yeah, like a scrum or a line-out.
Right. It reminds me of American football where a quarterback throws a fade route to a specific coordinate, expecting the receiver to just be there. Is that what South Africa is doing?
That's a perfect analogy. And to understand why, you have to look at the new laws.
Right. The escort runners.
Exactly. You used to be able to block for the catcher, which made winning your own kick almost impossible. But now, those blockers are illegal. It's a pure, unimpeded, vertical leap contest.
So it's a genuine 50-50 ball.
Every single time. And the Springboks realized that treating a 50-50 ball as unstructured play is just inefficient.
So they choreograph it?
Yeah. The kicker isn't just booting it downfield. They're aiming for an exact coordinate, say 22 meters down, 15 meters in, with a hang time of exactly 3.8 to 4.2 seconds.
Wow. And Willemse is just reading the parabola, timing his sprint so he hits max vertical jump right as the ball drops.
He's meeting it at the apex, while the English catcher is usually static or even moving backward. And South Africa won that aerial battle 60% to 40%.
Winning 60% on a mathematical 50-50 contest is a huge anomaly. It completely flips the risk-reward of kicking.
It gave them a devastating attacking platform. They're launching strikes against a scattered defense that thinks it's about to be on the attack.
Okay, so they survive the pregame panic, they execute this crazy new aerial tactic, and they drop 45 points. Sounds clinical, but it wasn't a walk in the park, was it?
Oh, definitely not. The physical friction was immense. They lost Kurtley Arendse to a yellow card for 10 minutes.
Which completely messes up the defensive spacing.
Yeah, Erasmus admitted things went totally pear-shaped for a bit. Plus, they lost Ox Nanche and Andre Esterhuizen to actual injuries during the game.
Losing Nanche is huge for the scrum, and without Esterhuizen breaking the gain line, they had to manufacture space completely differently.
And that attrition just cascades into next week. They play Scotland on Saturday.
Right. The Nations Championship is a grind.
Nanche is probably out. Etzebeth has to pass protocol. Kolisi needs a scan. They might get Lou de Jager back, but it's just a logistical nightmare.
You survive all that chaos just to hit the reset button and plug a new set of guys into the matrix. How is that sustainable?
Well, it goes back to why Erasmus called it destiny. The teams that lift trophies don't just get lucky with injuries. Their systems are built to consume that chaos and use it as fuel.
Consume the chaos as operational fuel. I love that. The machine just has to keep turning.
It does. It's a brilliant case study in organizational psychology.
It really is. And for you listening, I'd encourage you to think about your own disruptions through this lens. When a crisis derails your plans, do you play defensively? Or do you treat it as an opportunity to test your own depth and let destiny mandate a new approach? We want to hear from you. Let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comments on how you handle disruptions in your own life.
Yeah, it's a huge mental shift, but the results are there.
And before we go, I want to leave you with one final thought. If this aerial battle is really becoming a highly choreographed set piece, how long until rugby teams start recruiting specialized aerial athletes?
Oh, wow.
Right. Guys whose only job is to dominate the skies, like a designated hitter in baseball. Just towering vertical jumpers brought on for 3 minutes just to secure possession.
Given how staffs exploit statistical advantages, we might see specialized aerial athletes way sooner than we think.
It would completely redefine what a rugby player looks like. Anyway, please make sure to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we will look forward to you listening to our next episode.
Thanks, everyone.